You a stick trick guy?
Yeah. Hey, you ever do this one?
Whoa. Whoa, how was that? You then down and...
Well, no, I let it float. I don't just twist it. I let it float.
We got to play stick trick pig. That's what we do in the locker room all the time. It's like I got to match you.
How are you between the legs and the outside?
I actually took that shot from you. That's my favorite pig shot, is this crossbar.
Let's see who hits crossbar first. Ooh. Oh, you heard a little bit of the crossbar.
No. Yeah! Oh!
Christopher John Kirst, known as CJ, is one of 5 boys, all who include lacrosse as their passion. That passion was fueled in the backyard of their family home in New Jersey, with each Kirst boy carving out his own identity.
Bingo!
The red-headed late bloomer CJ wasn't always a force on the field. In his younger days, he beat defenders with skill and IQ. As his body developed, he combined lacrosse intellect with brute force. The result was a fearless dodging attackman with a compete level the game rarely sees. He burst onto the college scene as a freshman in 2022 and became a dominant force nationally, scoring 55 goals in his first year in Ithaca while leading the Big Red to the national championship game. Now in year 3, his game is generational talent level. From a one-on-one perspective, he has the arsenal that has him racking defenders from everywhere in the offensive zone. His boyhood love of the game is infectious for teammates, alum, and the Cornell lacrosse community. The chase now is simple: bring back a title to Ithaca for the first time since 1977. And along the way, he could add the Tewarton Trophy to his ever-growing list of accomplishments.
Yep. Good work. Attaboy, Spence.
Good start here.
Attaboy, Chad.
Get energy up throughout the whole practice.
Yep, let's go. On you, Chad.
Hey, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Me. Way to jump it, buddy. Yeah, go. Yeah, fast. Good take.
Hey, run around hard like we're playing against somebody. It's going to help us as soon as we move over to the real thing here. 0 on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
I watched you play less than 10 years ago, and you had a competitive fire. Where do you see that same type of fire in CJ?
I think it's in everything he does. He's a guy that loves the game and loves winning. You know, he comes out here, and whether it's a ground ball drill, whether it's, skeleton, he's got that sense of urgency that not many young men have, and it's really cool to watch as he's grown into that as a leader, as a senior on our team, and a guy that everybody else looks to.
Yeah, Waldo!
How does that smile change the overall landscape of that team?
It's infectious, and again, the reality of his ability to be as competitive while also being that smiley is a very unique attribute. I've played with a lot of competitors that are just, almost angrily getting it done.
Yeah.
He kind of brings everybody up and enjoys the sport, enjoys the time together, enjoys the hard work, and that really rubs off on everybody else.
Yeah, you're good, man. Simple, we're fine. Here we go. Together.
5 Kirst boys, and you're the second youngest. Describe to me what those backyard sessions were like.
Competitive. Yeah, they were a ton of fun. I mean, having 3 older brothers who never took it easy on any of us was everything I could have dreamed of. Just always being on Connor's team, Colin always with Cole, Caden always getting involved. Whether it was playing knee football in the basement or lacrosse, wiffle ball in the backyard, someone's always beating on someone. So we definitely got better because of it.
When you are getting dragged around to all these lacrosse games as a young kid, loving the game, wanting to be great, through your eyes, what were you looking at?
I was watching my brothers every single second they were out there. Whether it was Cole going from midfield to attack, watching his transition from 8th grade to freshman year, or watching Connor be a face-off guy, then being a D-midi. I was just watching how they had an impact on the game, whether it was picking up a hard ground ball, being a great teammate. It was never really watching them split a defender or break someone's ankles. It was just trying to have an impact on the game and whatever possibility they could have.
When you were growing up and you were undersized, What was that like for you as a player?
I had a chip on my shoulder. I remember, you know, when I got out there, I learned that I had to play a different style. You know, I always had to ride hard. You know, I had to figure out how to use my body in different ways. And freshman year, I was 5'5", 120. Freshman year of high school, and you know, I remember I used to play midfield. I used to be playing defense, offense, and my dad was like, I don't know if you can keep playing midfield. So he said it to me, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make the transition to attack.
Your dad, Kyle, was so heavily involved as a coach. What type of impact did he have on you in terms of your lacrosse?
He was the reason why I not only love the sport, but you know, the player that I am today. You know, he coached all my brothers, and you know, and he was always around every single tournament, every single game. He was always there. You know, and whether you had a good game, bad game, you got in the car and he gave you a little slap on the knee and said, I was proud of you. So, you know, he had a huge impact, and yeah, I still think about him every single time I step on the field.
Kirst got his hands free, now he scores.
If you could pick any spot within your offense to start off your dodge, where is that?
It'd probably be the lefty high wing.
Lefty high wing, even
Yeah.
as an attackman.
I just like having the option of going lefty or righty. You know, I think I try to use my speed to my advantage as much as I can, and you know, if I were to get into contact at 10 yards away from the goal, I feel like I can find a way to maneuver around him and try my hardest to get my hands free.
What are your cues in terms of the way the defender is playing you with the way that you want to counter and go left or right?
When you're taught as a young dodger, it's always attack the top foot, right? So if I were able to attack the top foot and make my move either lefty or righty and he opens up, I'm gonna read from there and try to beat him with my speed from that way.
If there is no top foot that is glaring in terms of where you're dodging, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try my hardest to get my strength to my left hand. You know, if he's gonna square me up, I feel like even if he gets his hands on me early, I can still find a way to fight through. And then since I'm so far away from the net, that's where it allows me to use a double move where, you know, the slide's not gonna come, they might show, but then I can read and react there and make my double move, earn the slide, and then move it or try to get a shot off.
Show me an example of a double move.
Oh, you're playing D here?
Yeah, I'm playing
D. But I'm going and then quick, hard roll. That might be a save though.
So from this area, I've noticed two aspects of your game where you use a counter. Now the first one is when you step away, okay? You bring the defender above goal line extended. I'm here.
You're on me. And then I'm gonna try to get my hands free by taking that step away and trying my hardest to get my hips back to the goal.
What do you do when a defender is playing really heavy on your top side?
Yeah, so if I'm pushing my left side, I'm trying to earn my lefty shot every single time. I'm trying to earn this, turn the corner. And if I can't earn it and you keep giving it to me, you overplay that, and I'm trying to get my shot, that's when I have to feel that out, protect, roll, and give a finish.
One thing I love about your game is how unpredictable it is. And one aspect of that, and I've noticed on tape, is sometimes you'll just stand still and kind of look down your defender, and it's a feel game. Walk me through that.
If I'm trying to think about what I'm gonna do before I actually make the dodge, I feel like I'm only hurting myself. So I'm gonna try my hardest to feel out and have an instinct kind of game where, you know, I'm floating, I'm bouncing, and the second I try making a move, I can just make a counter and try to just feel out the pressure and where his feet are going. You know, I'm not really too worried about his stick, but I'm worried about his hips trying to get in front of me. And from there, I feel like I can feel it out and make another move.
What's critical when you have that pause and bounce in your game from behind?
I think it's that back step or that back foot where I can bounce and then I can either explode and make another push. So even if it's to my left or my right, I'm trying to get my hips high and maybe trying to lull him to sleep a little bit and then going, and then I can feel it out and just keep making that explosive back foot step.
You're using the back of the goal almost like a pick.
Exactly.
And then if the defender gets over, you then have the luxury and the capability to go back the other way.
Yep.
I feel like defenders are fighting so much physically and mentally to stay with you that if they have to think about that for just a fraction of a second, gives you all the space you need.
Yep.
Kirst with a shorty. Opportunity here for CJ Kirst. Lost him. CJ Kirst got it. Kirst, the Wharton Award finalist. 4 goals for CJ Kirst. He wants a 5th.
You know, playing up in Canada in the box game obviously had a big influence in terms of how you finish inside, but it also is trickling into your outside game. Why?
If you were to think about a goalie stepping out to you and you're trying to manipulate him a little bit, you can kind of do that with the pre-shot cradle. So something Cole taught me is that he would always try to cradle low, get him to dip a little bit, and then you have the ability to just snap it back high real quick. And
Gotcha.
It's just that half a second.
But because your hands are loose, it allows you to do that quickly.
Yeah, it allows me to have that cradle here and just bring it back
You know
up.
what's interesting about that, CJ, is you dipped your stick and you didn't change your levels. You actually changed the trajectory of your release point again because of how loose and quick you could be. So you have the stick high, you went low, right? And then you went back high.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So a
it's
lot
only
of players
a second.
like to, once they change their levels in terms of where the head of their stick is, that's when they change the level of the shot. You're actually doing it twice.
Yeah, well, it's just where it kind of catch the ball, honestly, is where that really comes from. So if you were to throw it to me high, that's where that brings in like the double one where I'm here,
Yep.
and back high. But if you were to throw it to me low, I can go low, high,
Yep.
back low. So just try to change it up however I want.
In 2015, you lost your father, Kyle, and family is so important to you and the rest of your brothers and your mom. As a young boy at that time, how did you continue to have the positive outlook?
Yeah, that time was really tough. I'll never forget, you know, my brothers and I sitting down that week of when my father passed, and you know, we said we're just going to do it for each other. You know, we're going to make him proud, we're going to make our mom proud, and you know, we're going to have each other's back every single day.
When you're running around the field on a Saturday and you're making plays, what part of your game is evident that your dad's living in you?
One thing that Connor, Colin, and Cole always text me about every single game day is just go play hard. And they put hard in all caps, and they're saying go get it. And I think when I was growing up, my dad never really cared about scoring goals, getting points, having the most assists. He always talked about just playing your absolute hardest. Wanted you to play for your teammates and just go as hard as you can. And I think when I'm on the field and sprinting around, that's all I can think about is going to make the next play and doing it at 100 miles an hour. And I think that's something he instilled in me at a young age. And I think that's what separates me from some of the rest.
Together on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Good speech. Speech, Waldo. Good speech. Speech, buddy.